Today, we're taking a look at the first data on how COVID-19 is impacting our Pittsburgh housing market. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Shelly. So first and foremost, I hope that you are all safe and healthy at home. Today we are taking a look at the March market update, the March market data for the southwest section of the Pittsburgh market, and we're particularly paying close attention to how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting our housing market here in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. So the first number that we always take a look at is the active properties on the market. So right now we have 463 homes actively for sale on the market, which surprisingly enough compares pretty well to the 491 homes that we had on the market back in February. Decreased slightly, which of course we could have expected that, with the pandemic going on, that fewer people would want to put their homes on the market. It is a drastic difference from last March's numbers. 559 properties. We were in full swing last March of 2019, and we had 559 properties on the market. So obviously we've seen a little bit of a decrease, but again, that is to be expected in the midst of everything that we've got going on. That there are some sellers that, have decided obviously this is just not the time to sell, and they have decided not to put their homes on the market. So currently speaking, 463 properties active for sale in just the southwest section of the Pittsburgh market. And if we take a look at the sold properties, the number of sold properties that we had in March, it actually compares relatively well. We had 238 properties that sold last March, so that was March of 2019, and that compares very well to the 235 homes that we sold in March of 2020. Now, understood that most of those homes were under contract well before the pandemic really came to a head on March 13th. Is whenever we started seeing cancellations here in the South Hills of Pittsburgh and things closing down and stay-at-home orders going into place, that kind of thing. So most of those homes were already under contract, but they still closed. They still closed in the month of March, and that really speaks volumes of our lenders and our title companies here in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. So if you are a lender or some of our title folks watching, I want to take this moment and thank you for all of your tireless work in safely closing these homes so that people can get moved in to their new homes, because we know how important housing is and we appreciate everything that you guys are doing. So we still had 235 homes that sold in the month of March. The next stat that we always look at is the list price to sale price ratio, and this is the ratio between where the property was listed and then where it actually sold for. So currently speaking, at the end of March, we are at 98%. So sellers are getting 98% of what they had the home listed for, which is pretty awesome, especially considering that 97.16% is what we were getting this time last year. And just in the month of February, we're getting 97.5%. So honestly speaking, this doesn't seem to be impacting the amount that sellers are getting for the sale of their home, at least at this early stage. We obviously understand that we are still very early on. The numbers that we're looking at are March 1st through March 31st. So obviously there was only half a month's worth of data that was impacted by this pandemic, considering that we had the stay-at-home order in place roughly halfway through the month of March. So we're going to continue to watch this as things progress, and as we pull new data, we certainly will keep you updated. So that is the list price to sales price ratio. The final number that we always look at is days on market. So at the end of March, we were sitting at 60 days on market, which is a little higher than what we were sitting at the end of February, which was 55 days on market. So obviously things are sitting a little bit longer, 5 days longer. So it's not dramatic, but at the same time, there is a little bit of a difference there, which probably is largely to do with the pandemic, and things may continue to slow down a little bit more. Again, we will keep you updated, but roughly, right now, if we're looking at the data, it doesn't seem to be having as drastic of an impact as a lot of us, I think, assumed it would. Now, if we do look at new homes coming on the market, I get a lot of questions about, are homes still, selling? Are people still actually listing their homes? And the truth of the matter is, yes, there are homes still going on the market. We have sellers that, honestly, they don't have a choice. they have to sell right now. There's no way that they can delay it. And so we are working with them to do it in the most virtual and safe manner possible. In the state of Pennsylvania, as of now, today's April 8th, we are not permitted to do any face-to-face showings whatsoever. So we have to do everything virtually. And of course, that is the safest manner to conduct business at this moment. So we are working with them and we are making it happen. But there are far fewer sellers at this moment than there were at the beginning of March. I took a look back at the last 27 days. So from March 13th, when the shutdown started happening, until April 9th, we are on average seeing 6 new properties per day that are coming on the market. And then they are still going off the market as well. Buyers are still out there looking. Buyers are having a much easier time because it's easy for them to sit at home on their couch, look at videos of properties. It's a little bit easier for them. We can FaceTime, we can ask the seller questions, the seller can send follow-up pictures. If they have questions on a particular item, a lot of buyers, if they are putting offers in, and we do have buyers that are putting offers in on properties, they're writing in contingencies that allow them to do a physical walkthrough after the COVID restrictions lift. So there are a lot of ways that we can make a buyer comfortable with your home if you would decide to put it on the market. So yes, there are properties that are still going on the market. There are buyers still out there looking. I guess one could argue that there is far less competition on the market right now if you have to sell. So don't necessarily be concerned about competing homes, because there aren't very many that are coming on the market brand new. And if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, the buyers that are out there do tend to be pretty serious, the ones that are still looking. So just know that if you have to put your home on the market, we certainly can do it in a safe manner, in a virtual manner, and there are buyers still out there looking, and things still are going under contract. So I understand that may not be for everybody. There are a lot of our sellers that are saying, look, we're just going to wait this thing out. We're going to wait until the market springs back. We're going to wait until the dust settles, and then we'll list our property, and that is 100% okay, and we are 100% behind you. So whatever your needs are, if you find that you do need to sell your home in this time, we are here for you. If you decide that you want to wait, we are here for you as well. So I hope this information is helpful to you guys. Of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. We're here to help. We're happy to help. And we're certainly not going anywhere for the time being. So I hope you have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you soon.